Leafs talk. JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. The Leafs get dominated by the Minnesota Wild 6-3. A little moment there where the Leafs kind of had a bit of a fake comeback in the third period. Austin Matthews with the dirty dangle. But yeah, man, story of this one to me is I know people are going to say, hey, first game back from a road trip. That's usually a schedule loss. Just got kind of dominated earlier in this hockey game. Just did not look like they could really hang with the Minnesota Wild. And I think tonight's story is just a lot about how D could not make plays. And this was a tough night for those guys.
Yeah, this is as comprehensive of an ass whooping as you're going to watch for most of this game until about whenever the Leafs scored that second goal. I don't know what point of the game that was at, but from there on in, Leafs dominated from that point on.
Yeah, they sure did. But if you just turned on from Robertson going into the net and that goal standing, you enjoyed yourself tonight.
Yeah, that was a fun night for you. But before that, I do think that, you mentioned the decors, and I think that this game just really illustrates what a championship pedigree decor looks like versus one that's like a playoff contender decor, where Quinn Hughes and Faber, I don't know how much they played tonight, but it feels like they barely came off the ice.
Oh yeah.
And Jared Spurgeon, who plays like on their second pair, I mean, he's better than anybody. That the 26-33 for Quinn Hughes tonight.
Yeah.
And Spurgeon is, I'd say, probably better than almost all the Leafs guys, and he plays in their second pair. It just felt like a really deep group of guys, and the Leafs forecheck's been good recently, and they didn't get to touch the puck.
No.
The Wild's decor tonight just completely outclassed the Leafs, and it just, the juxtaposition between the two units was stark, where they broke out clean on every play and the Leafs were beating it to a square every time they got it. It was a tough watch.
No, honestly, man, I think that I'm glad that this is where you're at tonight, because this to me is the prevailing conversation from the game. Like, you look at a couple of the Leafs goals against tonight and you want to run the tape, and it's defensemen who can't get clears. There's a rough one for McCabe. There's a tough penalty by Benoit early that puts Minnesota on the power play, and they zip one in and rip one around.
Don't take many penalties against them, boy. Holy crap, they snap it around.
That's where I was just going with this thing is you've kind of felt like the Leafs penalty kill has been invincible. Yeah. Like, I'm sure a lot of Leaf fans feel the same way. When they've been taking penalties recently, I've kind of gone, don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Hey, it's all right. They're going to kill it. Tonight, 2 penalties against, including the first one. But on this goal, the first goal that Minnesota scores in this game, man, Quinn Hughes walks down and you can just see the attention that this guy takes from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Totally different vibe from what they have on their blue line for their power play, right? Like just a guy that completely puts you on your heels. He was brilliant tonight. Like, I know you mentioned a couple of Minnesota's defensemen were playing great, and I totally agree with you. And yeah, I think you said juxtaposed against Toronto's blue line tonight is the appropriate way to put it. But my God, if you wanted to do was the Quinn Hughes trade worth it game for the Minnesota Wild, you would want to run the tape from tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's the second best defenseman in the league. He's just right there with Cale Makar. And, there's a lot of dorks out there that would argue that Quinn Hughes is better. I'm not one of those guys that's going to make that argument.
Crazy.
Yeah, but he's right there. I mean, he has the puck in his stick the entire game. And we've known this. We've watched him play enough. We've seen him in Vancouver, seen him play. But when you see him playing with a bunch of good players like this, you wonder what this team's upside is, especially the fact that they skated the Leafs out of the rink and they're missing their entire second line, which the Michael Russo came on our show today and said is their best line. So, they don't have Boldy, they don't have Eriksson Ek, and they don't have Johansson in the lineup, and they still skate the Leafs off the rink. And you look at this team and you're like, wow, this is a team that could potentially contend for the cup, except they have to beat the other two favorites for the cup to even get to the semifinals. Thanks, Gary. Good playoff format you got there.
Yeah.
But I think this really was just a showcase of brilliance of Quinn Hughes. And, I've said this before the show, we talked about Quinn Hughes, but just, he brought up in the GTHL and he got to play, like, he's played Canada. Sorry, bud. Like, that's just kind of how this works. Like, if like the GTHL system taught you what you know at like the start of your hockey career, and you had the fruits of your labor, and you love Toronto, and you come to Toronto and you punk the Leafs like this, you should have to play for Canada. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
So I like this opinion, and
Thank
who
you.
wouldn't if you're Canadian, except for how it bites us in the ass the second it goes to basketball, where we've got
I don't take that. I don't care about basketball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Who cares about basketball?
Guy who texts me lives and dies with every Team Canada basketball play.
I do.
Yeah.
Really
Like,
care deeply.
shut up. Yeah. Like you were so in on Dylan Brooks at the FIBAs.
Crap.
Like,
you got me.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah, no, those boys are playing down in Mount Verde by the time they're 13 years old.
You're right.
But
you're right.
Yeah.
Good point by you.
It's a fair trade. It's a fair trade.
Yeah.
We get to develop our boys down there for hoops, and they get to develop some of their guys up here for hockey. Yeah.
Yep. That's fair.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just going to kind of go deeper into the game, because I think I mentioned the McCabe, how he can't clear a puck. All of a sudden it's 2-0. I texted you from the outset of this game going, boy, this looks like it has a chance to get ugly. But then the Leafs get on the board, right? Yeah. McCabe makes a mistake, tough clear. He's very frustrated with himself. But I thought that out of all the Leafs, listen, Matthews just has it right now. You and I have talked about it every show, where he is just a man possessed. This actually felt a little bit like they need Matthews to come over the boards game. And the other guys didn't really have the same impact, except for Matthew Nyes kind of gave them a good push early on in the hockey game, finds Tavares. And this is just a goal scorer's goal, right? Like, goaltender sliding across, thinking that that's where the shot is going to be. And he goes against the grain and finds the opposite post and scores one. And at this moment of the game, you're kind of thinking, all right, maybe the Leafs are going to do their thing where they don't feel like they're alive until they got something to play for in a game. And then it just never really materialized after this.
Yeah, right in our eye after crapping on him for the power play last game. You know, he's no good on the power play, but fires one in here. It's interesting you mentioned Nyes. I think, like, you know, that you heard Berube this morning at morning skate, and they talked about how he's dealing with something. I think he looks ginger out there, bud. I think, like, you know, he's still got a lot of skill, and he still has the puck in his stick, and like, he still clearly is able to contribute some stuff. But the best part of his game is when he's playing with a lot of physicality. And for me, recently, in these probably the last, I don't know, since this road trip, I'm not sure how long, feels like he's not loving contact. Feels like when a guy's kind of sneaking up on him, he's kind of bailing out a little bit. I don't know what it is. Kipper speculated maybe hip something, maybe the old OG Anunoby hip pointer, or the hip. I don't know what it is, but it just feels like his turns aren't fluid. He doesn't look like he wants to initiate contact. And I know you get starched, so it's an easy thing to say, but I guess he just needs to play every night because you need every point here. But I mean, if he's a game time decision and it's January 19th and a little bit of time off, maybe they're just trying to push him to get him to this Olympic break. But I don't know. I just think he looks like a guy that's kind of avoiding contact, and contact's the best part of his game. That's what I see from him.
Why I led with this is that it felt like a game where Matthews was the only guy really going.
Only threat, really.
Yeah,
and the third line was good tonight, too.
Yeah, the third line, kind of tough because a little bit of score effects for me, where I really did notice them the most in the third.
I wrote down a couple in the first, too. I thought they had some good shifts.
Well, guess what? You didn't write down really much in the second because they got outshot 19-9, and it was the moment of the game where the game completely tilted for Minnesota, and they dominated that period and ran up the score, chased their starting goaltender, embarrassed their blue line, and kicked their ass. So, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that the notes are there. But what I was going to say is
they ended up on the even side of the ledger in a 6-3 loss. Good for the third line. Good for the stats.
What I was going to say about Nyes is I kind of felt him early, and I felt him when that goal happened, and then the game went on. He kind of disappeared. And you know I love my cross-sport analogies.
It's one of my favorite things, too.
I wrote down a little Isaiah Pacheco to Matthew Nyes' game lately.
Isaiah Pacheco, that's niche.
Okay, so the reason why I said that is Isaiah Pacheco runs like he's doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're like, look at this guy go. And then it's 3 yards.
violent runner. Checo gives me more Yarn Croc vibes, quite frankly. But
okay, I'm just saying that it looks like he's doing a lot when he's got it, and then when the result is done, you're kind of like, wasn't a whole hell of a lot there. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about Matthew Nyes right now, where it's like when he's got the puck and he's ripping through the neutral zone, you go, look at this big old body, and yet, like, kind of ends up and you look at the end of it and you go, all right, nice 3 yards, positive play.
No, I think it's a fair comparison. It's very niche. Did not expect Pacheco to come up here. But I've
been watching a lot of football.
What was the name of that? What was the running back on the Texans? He was more of a 12 for 17. Woody Marks. He's more of a Woody Marks tonight for me. But I don't know. I guess they just got to keep pushing, and everybody's banged up because they play hockey every other night. And I give him credit for sticking in there and playing, and they need him. But God, at some point here, he's going to be limping to that break. Absolutely limping to get to that break.
Here's my next question.
Yes.
Do you think Marcus Foligno feels like he wants to get one over on the Leaf fans who didn't exactly love his brother's tenure here?
That's interesting. I don't know. I didn't even think about that, but do you meet a lot of people that are like blame Nick Foligno for that?
I think a lot of people when it happened were like, listen, the nerds hated the trade when it happened. And the nerds,
I was a huge fan at that point.
Same. It was,
and I'll always say I was a big fan.
It was an all-time, hey, do you believe in the intangibles guy versus, hey, the analytics of this move. And I personally, like, I'm too close to it because gotten to know him like a touch, and I've interviewed him a bunch of times.
He's truly the greatest guy ever.
An amazing guy, crazy charitable work. Like if there was I'm sure there is a Walter Payton Man of the Year football reference. I'm watching football.
Holy smokes.
It's football.
Lay out the football. You need a football intervention for you, brother.
He's a Walter Payton Man of the Year kind of guy. But I just know what he was dealing with his back during his tenure and how he was trying to gut it out for this hockey team and the pressure that he felt. But yeah, I think that when people look back on, some people put that into the category of like worst Leafs trades in the modern era. I don't feel that way, again, too close to it. But if you really play it out by the results, absolutely yes. And so, yeah, he left Toronto. But also the second layer to it is when he came for a contract negotiation, Dubas lowballed the hell out of him. Offered him essentially nothing when he wanted to come back. And then he ends up leaving Toronto. So it was just, I had a thought about it tonight where I went, I wonder if Foligno feels a little bit of, hey, you mess with my brother, I'm going to mess with you.
That's hilarious. That's such your petty brain that that thought would never even cross my mind.
Congrats. Yeah, you want football references and petty brain stuff?
Buddy, you are truly an artist tonight. Holy smokes. But I do love Marcus Foligno.
Same.
Plays hockey the right way. Warrior. And for him to get his first ever Hattie in Toronto. And I actually wrote down, I don't think when you think classy, the first player that comes to mind is Vladimir Tarasenko. But I think Vladimir Tarasenko passing that puck over to him for the hat trick was awesome. He had a wide open cage to shoot for his own hat trick. A guy that's probably had, I don't know how many career hat tricks he's had, but it's more than one. And it was an awesome move for him to pass to Foligno, who shoots it in. He's a tough son of a gun, plays the right way. And for him to get his first, for his brother, for Nick. So yeah, I love that. That's a good thing.
I'm just saying, if somebody did that to my brother, I'd hate him.
They lowball Dine, you'd be just all over.
Listen, man. Like, I think that the threshold for hurting your brother is low.
Yeah, for sure. I don't have a sister, bro, so I can't really speak.
But it's the same. I got a sister too. I think it's even lower for somebody who hurts your sister.
Yeah, I like it when people are mean to my sister.
Poor Jackie.
Poor Jackie. I'm joking.
The Jacksters is taking on the chin on this one. Okay, Matthew's goal.
No, I think I got a bigger.
Hit me. Yeah, I don't have big ones from this game. This is such a burn the tape game. Although two burn the tape games in the last 4 should be.
Yeah. 2 scheduled L's. I think a guy that's been really good for the Leafs all year in the last maybe week and a bit has been really fighting it is Jake McCabe.
Yeah.
I think Jake McCabe And listen, everybody's poopy tonight. They lose 6-3. They're getting filled in by a good team. And the puck's exploding off his stick. He's turning it over. He's not confident with his reads. He's off. And I have full confidence in the guy that he's going to be able to find it. I trust him. I don't know if he's playing through injury. I'm not going to just be like, because he's playing bad, he's hurt. He could be just playing bad, and it's been a bad stretch for him, and he can maybe dig his way out of it. Mm-hmm. But if the Leafs are going to try to accumulate points here and put themselves in a good position before the break, they're going to need him to find it again, because through that stretch where they kind of started to get back into it, he was playing really well. And I worry a little bit about him. They're playing him, he's blocking a ton of shots. He plays the game hard, and that takes a toll on guys. And I don't think he's been very good. Him and Stetcher haven't been playing together as much. That pair was excellent. Stetcher's dipped a little bit. Quite frankly, the whole D-core has just taken a little bit of a nosedive outside of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but I think he was even -2 or -3 tonight. Just tough night for McCabe and a tough stretch for McCabe. So hopefully he finds it, because they need him.
This is, I think, what happens when you're leaning on these guys as much as they're leaning on them.
Yep.
So the Troy Stetcher experience has been great. You and I are obviously very reluctant to mention really any
unjournalistically so.
Yeah. I guess what that's why we're not journalists. Listen, 32 Thoughts is available wherever your podcast where it's there for you.
Yeah, the Athletic Hockey Show anytime.
Yeah, listen, you can do it. There's guys with journalism degrees all over the map here in this industry. It's actually one of the funniest things I ever get in terms of criticism is when people tweet like, "Look at this journalist," and I go, "No,
journalist,
you got it all wrong."
The amount of dirty looks I got for cheering in the press box or in a Leafs playoff game one time was just through the roof.
Well,
so.
I got to tell you that's a little fair. That's
funny.
A little fair.
I just was like, I did a fist bump, and then I had to like put it down, and everybody looked at me like, and I was like, "Oh, whoopsies."
Yeah, that's tough. That's
sorry,
tough.
Terry Cochan.
Yeah, I was
sorry,
gonna say that's just a little. That's just a little inexperience for you. You live and you learn. So, what I actually am going to lead my show tomorrow with some more thoughts on this, but this is sort of what you're seeing when you're leaning on these guys. I think that Carlo has been asked to jump back into the fire. You and I really liked his game when he first started with the Leafs. We were really impressed even in that Colorado game. Yeah. To me, there's been a slip from what we saw with fresh legs when he first jumped into the lineup. Yeah. McCabe looks like a guy who's a little worn down. Stetcher looks like, frankly, just an undersized defenseman who's being asked to play a lot of heavy minutes. The only guy for me who's really maintained his level through all of this has been OEL, who is a man possessed and unbelievably.
By the way, he was not -2 or -3 tonight. He was even on the ledger. So sorry.
Yeah. No, I just think that out of all their guys, the most consistent dude lately, for my money, has been Ekman-Larsson, and that you're starting to see the grind of the schedule, of the workload on these guys.
I mean, it's an older team too, right? Where do they rank in terms of age, average age across the league? Feels like they're really
one
high
of the older teams. Yeah.
So playing every other night and you're mid-30s, I can't imagine it. Like it's an insane amount of hockey. And like this Wild team comes in here and they just got a bunch of young, fast guys. They're running into the boards. Like, holy crap. Felt like they were just playing a different sport tonight. So I do think that it's the first game back, whatever, that's a classic thing in hockey. But at the same time, bud, they don't have a ton of room for these, these usual things that you're allowed to do. They kind of got to buck these trends if they want to get themselves back into a playoff spot. And tonight was not even close. So yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike Cormier says Nylander is missed. No question. They absolutely miss him. They're a team that's built, they added a little bit in the bottom half of the lineup, but they still need their guys at the top to be good. And it sucks that he's just not durable anymore. He never missed a game for 6 years due to injury. Like he had illnesses and stuff and that headache stuff, but it just didn't look good tonight.
I agree Nylander's missed, but I will say that tonight, I don't think that anybody makes a difference for them.
You know how bad Nylander would have dogged it tonight? Oh my God. He would have just been waiting in line to dog it.
Like the story of this game is the second period where they get completely dog walked by their opponent and barely possess the puck, barely have any threatening moments, and the other team is just completely on top of them. They're taking desperate penalties.
Sixth oldest team, says Christian.
Yeah, and what's that if you don't have Easton Cowan?
Yeah, higher.
Dragging down the average age of this team. This young 20-year-old boy.
Wall, 11 goals against in his last 5 periods, including overtime against Vegas.
Yeah.
So it'll be 6 periods. Yeah.
What, you got thoughts?
I don't know. I think you can tell pretty early with this guy when it's going to be a good night or a bad night, and you can feel it pretty early. Like, I mean, the first one, with no goalie on earth, is probably going to stop this. Couple flutter pucks from the point, which are when he's not on, he's not seeing it. He's not fighting to see it. And that's what we always loved about Stolarz, is that no matter what, it seems like he was fighting for a puck. It just feels lazy's not the right word, but just a little passive sometimes with him when he's not feeling it. And tonight he was certainly not feeling it. And 11 goals in his last 5 periods isn't going to look good on the stats.
I thought 2 things. One, this is now another game where I don't think that he tracked the puck very well.
Yeah, agree.
And to your point about the what word did you use? Not lazy, passive. To me, it actually just looks like same thing, that maybe he's a bit tired.
Totally.
There's a little less snap to his game. And granted, a lot of that is probably just confidence. And we know that this is something that's crucial for any goaltender's game, but he does not look like an uber confident goaltender in this game. I'm not going to blow it out of proportion. It's 2 tough games. He's like, they flashed the stats with him and Gustafsson tonight, right? And Gustafsson, who's like one of the stories of the season early on, Wolves got a better save percentage.
Yep.
And you go, right. So
he's been really good.
Yes.
And tonight and the first 2 he has no chance on, and then it kind of goes downhill from there for him.
Yeah. I don't know what the mix is for them. We've talked about this before, but I don't know how much of it is like they want him to try to find his game and they want to be able to give him these reps because everybody loves reps. Everybody loves games, taking him out of a rhythm versus giving him the rest with Hildeby. And right now, I don't really think that they have that formula totally sorted.
I think that's really well said, and got to be nice if Stolarz could arrive back and maybe play some hockey for them. November 11th is the last game here. He's on the ice every day. Could we maybe get him in the net here soon? They could really use a couple starts from Stolarz here in a big way. So we'll see. I don't have anything else, bud.
No, I just have the Matthews goal was a rapid fire. Is just disgusting. Like,
so nasty.
Yeah.
Feeling it.
Yeah. So 2 quick things off this. One is felt for the fans tonight because he just showed up and
drubbing.
Yeah. But then you got this goal and you went, hey,
that was fun.
I saw that Matthews goal though.
And this is a nice pass. It's an easy pass that it looks like, but to feather that perfectly in stride, nice pass by Domi. And I think Matthews loves playing with Domi. Domi's sole purpose in life is to sauce the pass on his 34 stick. And he's doing it a lot recently.
Yeah, I said this with Bourne back when Domi was not up on the top line, and I think that they had just decided it. But I went, listen, if you're going to get anything out of Max Domi's contract, it has to be with Austin Matthews because the types of passes he makes, a lot of them are hope plays, but when they do end up on a guy's stick, you want them to be on 34 stick. So it has worked out. And I do think that Domi's playmaking with Matthews has been a little underrated in terms of the resurgence of Matthews. I'm not saying like he's directly responsible, but it's something that we haven't really talked about it enough. He's someone who's been a bit of a whipping boy outside of the times where he fights or gives them energy or gives you a good quote.
Totally.
When we talk about his play, it's usually in a negative and not in a positive. And I do think that he is, somewhat responsible for the resurgence of Matthews, him finding his game and being a good fit with him as a player. But secondarily, this guy every night now I know we're getting too close to the Olympics because I'm just starting to feel it now where I'm watching him and I'm going, all right, chill out.
Yeah. He now is tied with Leon Draisaitl, 1 back of DeBrincat, 1 back of Sid, 2 back of Jason Robertson, and a lot back from Nathan McKinnon, who has 38 tucks already this year. So he's climbing his way back up to where he usually ends up on the scoring sheet. So nice to see. Good for him.
All right. Plenty more Leafs talks this week.
Yeah, we do it every night.
So, so we'll wrap this one up a little early. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple or on Spotify. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sammy McKee. And yeah, we'll see you Wednesday night against the Buffalo Sabres. Big one.
No, Red Wings. Red Wings Wednesday. Next Tuesday is Sabres. Red Wings, they got to respond. If they look bad in that one, then it's spooky town. Need to look good in that one.
You're right. These are big games in terms of like the weight of the schedule. These Western Conference games, we've been doing this like you need these points on the West Coast road trip, but now facing teams that used to be kind of, hey, these are W's on the schedule.
Not
and
anymore.
Now you're playing for playoff life.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, one spin zone quickly. Nice to have Red Wings Sabres mean something with the Maple Leafs.
And the regular season means something.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like living and dying with these regular season games, a new change. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Totally different. All right. We'll see you then.